Hey YouTube, it's Saurabh again, and in this video I will teach you everything you need to know about Extrude. So what is Extrude? When you select an object, hit tab to go to edit mode, select a face, press the key E and move so that you pull out a face from the existing mesh. This is called extrusion. Extrusion creates extra faces from the original mesh, and the whole thing is still a single unit. So let's do that again. Now you can see that this is new mesh created. If you select the new face which was created and extrude it, you keep extruding and protruding it out, right? This whole process is extrusion. And using this, you can almost achieve any type of model you want. At least the basic forms can be all done by extrusion. So now that you know what extrude is, let's recap. When you have an object, select a face in edit mode, hit the button E, and you can extrude the face. So now let me show you something about vertex extrude. You can select a vertex in Blender and even extrude that. What Blender does is it creates an edge between the two vertex, right? And Blender is the only software which I know of which allows you to vertex extrude, right? Industry standard softwares like Maya, you can't do this, right? That software is gonna crash on you. It's like, yeah, I don't do all this. Okay, you cannot extrude vertex and all. It'll start saying that. Yeah. Well, jokes aside, Blender can actually let you do that. And now you can see that this vertex is extruded. So if I left click to confirm the position, you can see how there's an edge created between two vertex. And check this out. If I press E again, I can extrude the vertex again. If I press E again, I can extrude the vertex again, right? So if you think about it, you can create shapes. You can create anything you want just by outlining and extruding a vertex. It's like drawing, right? But what you're doing is you're extruding vertex. So if you see now this vertex is here. So if I select this vertex, just a quick tip, and I select this vertex. If I hit M on the keyboard, it brings up the pop-up menu for merge, right? And merge will ask you, do you want to merge it at the center? So center is, if you select one vertex here and this vertex here, center is the average between these two, right? And it merges to the center. So both vertices move and come to the center. That's the center. At cursor is the 3D cursor you see in Blender, the red and white cursor. It goes towards that, right? Collapse is a little advanced. You don't need to know that. At first is out of these two vertices, which one did you select first? So if I select this first and then click on this and then do add first, this vertex is going to move and merge into this vertex, right? And the last is at last. So this vertex will move to this vertex because this was selected last. I hope that clears up everything, right? So that's all there is to merge. And by distance is basically, let me try to phrase it really simple. So if you have two vertices like this, they are 1 meter apart. Let's just imagine, okay? Two vertices 1 meter apart. If I select by distance and my distance is selected to 0.5 meters, half of 1 meter, these two will not merge. Any other vertices in your model which fall between 0 and 0.5 will merge. That is by distance, right? If you increase the distance and let's say the maximum distance you have set as 2 meters, now every vertex between 0 and 2 meters will merge, right? So that is by distance. I hope that clears that up as well. So because now, for example, because I selected this vertex first and then I selected this vertex last, I'm going to say M and then I'm going to say last. So did you understand? It takes the first and puts it to the last. Now, because I merged it, you can see that I have 4 edges, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you saw my other videos, 4 edges makes one face, correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4 makes a face. So if I select these and press the button F, F is for fill in Blender. You just created a face from vertices, right? By the process of extrusion. So I hope this whole concept of vertex extrude is known now. Now, if I go back, and because I had my camera view like this, right, and I extruded it, you see how it's randomly in the viewport? There is no X, Y, Z extrusions to this. Like if I move this, look how weird it is, guys. Right? Look at that face. This face is actually called a non-manifold face, I believe, right? This, because if you notice, any face, let's not say any face. Let's say any, for example, here. If I take this card, right? If I take this card, this face is always flat, right? I can bend it like this. I can bend it like this. It makes sense, right? But if one piece of the face is bent this way, while the other piece is bent this way, right? That's what's happening. You can see that in real viewport, one face is at this point and the other face is broken. So what's actually happened is, what actually is happening is that face is being bent in such a way that it's not supposed to, without an edge supporting it. I hope you understand that. So if I press tab and I go to vertex selection mode, I select this vertex and this vertex, and I hit the key J. J joins two vertices and makes an edge in between them. Now that I have joined this face is perfect and this face is perfect. It's a triangle, but it's perfect. This edge saves the face from breaking, right? And this is called non-manifold geometry. And you can cause that if you vertex extrude in just camera view. If you wanted to do it a little bit more cleaner, you can snap your view to one of the orthographic views. And then let's go to tab, press 1. And now when you take this edge and let's say you extrude, 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 extrude like that, select this and then select that, M, do it at last, select all your edges and then press F. And because you did it with an orthographic view, this face is going to be perfect. It's just going to be very flat. See how flat it is and how clean it is, right? So if you do it from an orthographic view, it's fine. But try not to do it from the viewport view. You might crash Blender. I know that was a lot, but I hope you understood that you can actually even extrude vertices and you can create all these complex shapes, right? You can create the shape, fill it with face, and then add edge loops to fix your topology. That works as well. The next is edge extrude. So you select an edge now and press E and you have an edge selected, which got extruded. This creates a face, right? And you can constrain them to x-axis, z-axis, right? And if you confirm this, you can now actually just move it to the y-axis, right? And that's simple. That's edge extrude. And like the start of the video, this is basically face extrude, right? So you select a whole face and you extrude it. A face will create 4 new faces around it. That's pretty much it. And no matter what extrusion you use, face, edge, or vertex, they can be constrained to the axes, right? So you can constrain them to X axis, you can constrain them to Y and Z. That depends on you. Now what I'm going to teach you is extrusion along normal. And okay, first let me just explain what a normal is. And I'm going to keep it very simple. A normal is an imaginary perpendicular line to a face. I hope that makes sense. So if this is a face, just imagine a perpendicular line which creates a 90-degree angle with the face. That is called a normal. And every face has a normal. You just can't see it you can actually enable it so you can see it, but visually in Blender or any 3D software, every face has a normal to it, right? And you can actually do a lot more using that normal. So for example, and it actually shows really well when you have a curved surface, because curved surfaces are made from multiple faces, correct? So then you can actually see how the normal works. I'll show it to you. So now that we have a sphere here, guys, if I go to tab menu, which is just switch to edit menu, if I press if I press 3 to select a face, right? If I select this face and just zoom in, I just want you guys to notice the difference. If I press E, it extrudes, right? And then if I move it on the Y, you see how it's constraint to Y, right? This was on C and this is on X, right? So that's how this extrusion works. Now, what if you wanted this face literally on its normal, right? So I'll just show it to you. If you press, if you click a face, instead of E, you hit Alt E, Alt and then E. You will bring up the extrude pop-up menu, right? In this, you can see that you have a bunch of things. So first thing, extrude face, which you can just do by E and then extrude it. Extrude faces along normal. When you click on this, just move your mouse. Do you notice the difference? It's not on X, it's not on Y, it's not on Z. It's literally perpendicular to that face. So if I let this go and show you from the side view, okay, just try to put it on the side view there. So this is what I was talking about, this edge. So if you take this edge, there's an invisible perpendicular line to it. That's the normal. And see how the extrusion works? Look at that. So this is extrude along normal. Now I'm going to teach you extruding as a whole and individual faces. And I hope you can use this in your creative journey, right? So what I'm going to do is select a bunch of faces. So let's select these 9 faces, right? If I press E and extrude it, this is extrusion from the Z, from the normal, right? So you see how all the 9 faces have been extruded together as one unit. This is how basic extrusion works, right? What if you did not want this? What if you wanted each face to be individually extruded? Then that is done by holding Alt E again and then bringing this menu, and you see how it says extrude individual faces. Click on that and you ready? Take. So I hope this is a clear difference about individual faces and just a normal extrude. And finally, to finish this video, there is something called inset. Inset is a type of extrude and it helps really well when you're trying to create some specific objects. So what is inset? If I press tab to go to edit view, press 3, select a face, right? If I press the key I is for inset, right? You can see how my cursor changed. If I move, notice what it does. It takes the face, it literally extrudes it on itself from all the angles. There's no extrusion on any axis. It's just within it, on it, right? And this is inset. So when you inset it and you feel, yeah, that's good enough, you can left click to confirm it. And when you press G, look at that. You see this? Now, if I press G and lock it to the Z axis and move it up, do you guys understand? I hope you guys understood now exactly what it did. So this is just extrusion, guys. So here, let me just do it for you over here. So if I press 3 to select face mode, I'm just gonna bring this, but with everything I taught you guys till now. So if I press E, I move it, remember? So I move it, there you go. And then I press S to scale it, and then I bring that there. There you go, right? That's exactly what it is, right? So that's what the inset did. but I literally created it up. So what it does is it insets the face itself. So if I press 3, select the face, and I don't want to do all the extra job, right? So I just press I, inset it, look at that, right? And then press E, look at that. And then you extrude, right? Inset it, and then E, and then inset it, and then E. I hope that made sense, right? So inset is basically extrusion of the face on itself, right? So it does a bunch of things, but it's just, yeah. I mean, visually, I hope you understood. And when you're, so for example, let's do one thing with this rolling, and I don't want to edit the video and jump to a cut. Let's try to make a table, very simple table, right? So we take this and then we scale it. There we go. And then we move it up. And then if you saw my other edit videos and my other videos, you can press Ctrl R, there you go, and then you can make loops. So we are just going to put loops there, and then we're just going to copy for loops there as well. So there you go. And then go to 3, select these faces, and then because they are all separate and no two faces are connected to each other, I don't need to extrude individual faces. I can just extrude them, right? So extrude, there you go. Very simple table, but I just want to give it a little fancy touch where this comes like that, right? And now guys, if I press inset, look at that. It insets all, and then press E, and there you go. Just a very simple, whatever this is, right? But it has this inset extrusion in itself as well. And press tab to go to object view, and there you go. Look at that. For before I end this video, I'm going to show you a very common mistake beginners do, and a lot do it. And my younger brother does 3D as well. And when I saw his journey and his process, and when I was teaching him, I could clearly see him make this mistake a lot of times, right? So I'm going to tell you guys a very pro tip, and I hope it helps, right? Okay, so if you go into edit mode, press 3 to select face. If you extrude this, guys, what people usually do in beginners is when they extrude, they're like, no, I don't like this. So they right click it. This cancels the operation, correct? Do you understand what operation it actually canceled? Let's go and let me make you understand. You selected the face, operation 1. You extruded it, operation 2. And then you were moving it, operation 3. When you control Z, the third operation is cancelled. I mean, when you right clicked to cancel the operation, the third operation is cancelled. Blender jumps back to operation 2, which was extrude. That operation is still active. What I mean by is, if I click anywhere outside, you see it still looks like a cube, right? And there's no issues with it. But if you select this face and just hit G to move it, so I hope you guys understood. That face was just sitting on top of another face with all these extra vertices, edges, and faces. So if I cancel this, look at this. This sits on this face, right? So when I take this face and then I'm like, I cancel that, so I wanted it over here. So I'm just gonna extrude here, right? And then you click on this face and then you extrude it again. Now what you're doing is, because it's already extruded and it was on top of the other one, it creates a third one. And that starts creating non-manifold geometry in your Blender scene. And that usually crashes it. Your models don't, you can't UV them properly, they don't look smooth, and all of that issues come because you have extruded something, but then canceled the operation and then forgotten about it, right? This is very common, right? So if you feel, why is this working this way? Why is it not working this way? This might be the cause. So I can actually show you, I know this video is becoming long, and I hope you guys are enjoying it, the way I'm teaching, and it all makes sense. I'm just going to show you the use case scenario and what problems you will run into as well, right? If I select this way, remember this phase still has that weird extrusion, but just put back, right? If I take this phase, extrude it properly, and let go, if I go into edge selection mode and hold Alt and click on this edge, notice this loop, guys, it runs all the way. It's clean. It understands that, yeah, there's no problem, so I can run the whole loop, right? But if I come here and I press Alt and click, there you go. This loop runs all the way here, but then it does not run here. This causes so much frustration in new beginner, people who are just coming in 3D. They're like, why is this edge not getting selected? And then you know what they do? They might select all this, right? They select all this and then shift select this. But then which edge are you actually selecting? There are two hidden there, right? That's the question. And you see how because it's such a small issue, it creates new issues to new issues to new problems to new problems, right? And then your whole model gets spoiled. Now, to visualize this properly, if I go to phase, select this and move this up, and this is how it's supposed to be, right? If I go into edge selection, this is what was actually happening. Alt, click this edge, look at that. It selects this, but because there's an extrusion phase, it stops here. So you should now select this edge. That is what we were doing. We were shift selecting this edge. But then how do you know if it was this edge or it was this edge? Because both the edges were on top of each other, right? So you don't know what you're selecting, right? So that is what. So when you select all this and then hold shift and select this, now if you move this whole unit, it makes sense, right? So that's pretty much it, right? So let's just go really quick again over it. So if you go to edit view, select a face and extrude and cancel, just keep it in mind that the extrusion is still on top of it. Okay, so you hit Ctrl Z again. Okay, and then when you select this and press G, now the whole cube moves, right? This means the extrusion has also been cancelled. Okay, so with that, I think we're done. I know it was a long video. I tried to explain it differently. I tried to speak a little bit more and keep it on point. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And in the next video, we'll model a very simple thing. And yeah, that'll be our first model with me video. I'm hoping to make a new series which is called Model With Me, so that you guys can tag along. If you have a different screen or phone, put me there, just watch me model, and just step by step, just follow me, and we can just chill, yeah, and create some 3D art. But with that, this video comes to an end. I hope you guys subscribe. I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm just trying to grow on YouTube and try to teach others, because I have 6 years of experience in this, and the way I was taught was not good. I'm not gonna lie. I could have been taught so much better, and I deserve it, right? Because I paid for it, and my mom and dad work, and they put me into education, right? So I believe I can teach my way, right? And everything I did not get to learn, I just want to teach you guys, right? So I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just talking anything right now. But with that, let me close this video. I love you guys and keep creating. Saurabh, signing out.